So change management is often overlooked, but it plays that vital part. It's about building confidence, and it's fundamental in bringing employees on the strategic direction of the business. So in this case, for hybrid working. And it helps businesses get the quickest possible return on their investment and reduces the risk of error. The change management program builds up a network of technology advocates who can become evangelical about teams through filtering their tips, knowledge and best practice through to their most direct colleagues. And building on that, it's really useful to give end users the resources that they need to upskill themselves at their own pace as well. So learning paths can be broken down into modules that users can work through step by step to give them the skills and the know-how to use Teams with confidence, therefore reducing the support burden down the line. Remember, when you're working remotely, it's more difficult to ask the person next to you how to do something new. And Microsoft 365 adapts to changing industry demands regularly, as Mark touched on. So having up-to-date content at your fingertips is a great way of remaining at the forefront. There are a couple of key and common challenges when it comes to change management with digital transformations, and that can be things like the fixed mentality of particular individuals who have always done things a certain way, and this is what they know, and therefore this is how they'll continue to do things. But change management counters that through the educational piece to open eyes to the new way of doing things that they may not really understand until they've gone through that change management process. To help them adopt the new technologies. So in terms of the solution with change management is the things that you can see on the screen now. So having a vision, so a hybrid working strategy needs to be understood for everyone to really buy into it and to everyone really to understand what it is and why it's in place. And that can be done through communication and engagement together. So communication and engagement are a really big part of getting that vision across. We often assume that people understand what Microsoft 365 and Teams are, but it's not always the case, even if you've got them within your technology stack already. So helping your employees understand that we can make their jobs easier if they participate in a two-way engagement process is a message that tends to land really well. And helping users to upskill themselves by understanding what's changing and what it means for them and how it can make their life easier when it comes to working across technology and working in different locations, and crucially giving them some first-hand training and upskilling on how it works for them. And the champions piece I've mentioned already. It's a network of champions dotted around the organisation, typically one per team or department, which will give everyone a local point of contact and somebody to bounce questions off remotely through Teams, through chat or through a quick video call, and somebody who can initiate things as best practice objectives, such as setting up the first Teams channel and showing people how to co-author files and taking the lead on that stuff. But the problem is change management only works if you've got a clear and simple strategy. Without it, you duplicate and waste lots of effort because the ask of your employees is fragmented and incoherent. If you've got different solutions for things like internal collaboration and for external telephony, and even third-party video conferencing software as well, you're not going to get those same efficiencies or pull it together with change management tools because you're going to have to do it for lots of different applications and lots of different services, so it will feel disjointed. You'll therefore have to duplicate effort across each of the following processes. So for onboarding new employees, it's going to be different processes for each of these different services. For upskilling those employees, it's the same story. You need different tools and resources for your employees in order to do that. Providing performance analytics and reports is likely to be pulled from different systems as well, so there's going to be complexity around that, and supporting and managing those multiple vendors as well, so each with their own contracts and SLA, and each having to require their own bit of admin in order to keep on top of them. So this means that the experience for end users, management and admins is far from slick, and you will therefore lack the agility to build a program that gives your sales, customer service and other staff that simplified experience and really get the biggest possible bang for your buck by only doing the change management piece once. So if we look at the strategic adoption of Teams, as Mark mentioned, every Microsoft 365 plan includes Teams, and we've seen that Teams can do everything from collaboration, communication perspective. You may already be using Teams for certain things already. And if you have a Microsoft 365 plan, you can get the biggest possible return by making sure you squeeze every drop of value from Teams. So when you're ready to use Teams to its fullest extent, you can be strategic with it and have that conversation around Teams Voice as part of your hybrid working strategy. You'll have that one single application to build your hybrid working strategy around. And crucially, this will allow for focus and the leanest way to build an adoption plan that works for everybody, and you'll get the cost efficiencies of doing it once. And when it comes to upskilling, you'll be able to use a single tool that helps everybody to boost their confidence and knowledge of Teams across both productivity, collaboration, and voice. And ultimately, the benefit here is that this reduces the length of the learning journey to get them where they need to be as quickly as possible. Similarly, a single reporting tool will capture everything from the number of outbound calls that your sales team are making each week to the number of meetings that your engineering team are getting dragged into each week. And this will save time by templating dashboards and then having that information aggregated in one place into one recurring report for senior management. And finally, you'll be able to cut out the complexity of vendors by housing Microsoft 365 and telephony under one roof with a single bill, a single SLA, and a single common action for end users to take when it comes to raising support requests. So to summarize, a coherent hybrid working strategy means that you can focus on skills, analytics, and support in the most cost-effective way possible by making sure you have the tools to cover collaboration and voice.